Thomas Tuchel replaces Jurgen Klopp. The dismissal of Thomas Tuchel is a reminder of the brutal and fragile nature of football management. Nobody is invincible. Liverpool were just blown away against Napoli last night. In the field, things are far from where they should be. Minutes after Virgil van Dijk blocked a clear goal from the line, he watched, stunned, as the defense shattered again. Extraordinary mistakes made by Joe Gomez were the main factor in conceding 3 goals in the first half. He couldn't clear the ball, couldn't use his physique, and couldn't follow the runs that were thrown behind the defense. After this infamous performance, Klopp took Joe Gomez off at halftime, but that wasn't enough. At the beginning of Liverpool's second half, he saw the goal in his goal again as he took the field with the hope of coming back. The team floundered on the field and no moves by Klopp were effective. Liverpool could be experiencing a similar season in 2021 when they lost 8 of their first 12 games at the start of the Premier League. Injuries are still there, but not to the same extent. And no game that season was as embarrassing as Liverpool versus Napoli. Let's not forget how brutal and fragile the nature of football management was on a day when Thomas Tuchel was fired by Chelsea while standing above Liverpool in the Premier League and having not been as relegated as the Reds this season. Liverpool legend Carragher has expressed concern that there are deep problems at Liverpool. The problem tonight is not the game. Forget about this game, he said after the game. Is this game something that will go on almost throughout the season? Is this a loop? This worries me. Liverpool largely misunderstood their transfer ideas during the summer because this team is too far away and has been in full swing for 5 or 6 years. Is that a big drop physically because of how intense they've been playing in the last 5 or 6 years? And can this team get him back? Carragher also denounced the central defensive duo's performance and did not downplay their words. It really is, Carragher said of Liverpool's defense. I've said before that it's a kid thing and that's Liverpool's biggest problem right now. They've based their success on the density of the ball, which means the opponent can't lift their head to put the ball in. So your team is always tight. Always really compact. Sometimes it's a risk. But you get energy on the ball, that energy isn't there right now, so the back four has to adapt and go back 3 or 4 yards. That's all we're talking about. But if they keep playing like that, they're going to be the Premier League and champions this season. They're going to have a big problem qualifying for the next round of the league, because this is suicide football. Yes, Carragher is right about that. Liverpool almost played suicide football. Napoli created a danger on almost every ball they hit the back of the defense, and the Reds couldn't take any action against it. Now all arrows point to Jurgen Klopp. Chelsea owner Todd Boehly took all emotion out of his decision by refusing to work on Tuchel's past achievements or loyalty. He was cruel, but this is football. If FSG focuses on this season and ignores the great things Klopp has done for the football club, there are ideas that the German coach doesn't have much time. And now a bombshell claim is circulating backstage. The allegations that the FSG administration is considering Thomas Tuchel instead of Klopp started to increase. Especially last night's disgraceful performance management is quite angry. Tuchel was fired from Chelsea yesterday and it came as a shock to everyone at first. However, there are these in football and they will continue to be. If Klopp transfers his place to Tuchel, the German coach will again take charge of the team. FSG relies on the discipline of German teachers. The Wolves game ahead of Liverpool will perhaps be a breakout match and Klopp may be playing the last game of his unique Liverpool career. Undoubtedly, Klopp's departure from the team will come as a huge shock, but if the results continue like this, the inevitable end is approaching. The reasons for the FSG management to fire Klopp have emerged. The first reason, of course, is the bad results. Since replacing Brendan Rodgers in 2015, Klopp has managed to lead Liverpool to some of the biggest trophies in the country. In addition, he exhibited a beautiful football feast not only as a success but also with the games played. Still, although Klopp has had some big victories, the bad results this season are noticeable. The defeats against Napoli and Manchester United were bitterly disappointing, especially given how the Reds excelled in both games. Draws against teams like Palace, Fulham and Everton are not good enough for a team the size and height of Liverpool, with all due respect to these 3 sides. Another loss to the Wolves on Saturday could be disastrous. The other reason is the main guard has run out. Liverpool's best players, vital to winning trophies under Klopp, now seem to be struggling to be themselves in the German system. Virgil van Dijk suffered an alarming drop in form with his terrible performance in the Napoli match. Andrew Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold are falling behind the game despite their status as the two best fullbacks in the world. Mohamed Salah has not been in his former form since Sadio Mane left, but there is a feeling that Robert Firmino's best days may now be in the past. Liverpool's in-team leaders look burnout. Another reason is to remember Klopp's Dortmund days. Toward the end of Klopp's time at Dortmund, there were the same complaints. Bundesliga giants began to be discovered by rival teams, and the usual pressing games could not give the same results over the years. Like Liverpool, Dortmund started conceding the first goal in most games and started to give a lot of positions in the games. Klopp remained true to his system and style and was determined that Dortmund would get the results they needed to enable them to challenge Bayern Munich for a Bundesliga victory. However, this one-dimensional approach failed to pay off, failing to demonstrate a plan B as it does now. If Liverpool continues like this, Klopp's return to his Bundesliga days is imminent. These are the reasons that stood out for Klopp's departure. If Klopp is sacked and replaced by Thomas Tuchel, do you think he can succeed at Liverpool? Liverpool chasing next Sadio Mane transfer. Liverpool's net spending in the transfer window compared to previous years shows that the club's budget is tight. FSG is not one of those owners who regularly pump big bucks into the club and play high risk for high rewards. Instead, the club's owners have taken a more measured approach to making Liverpool a self-sufficient presence for other clubs in the Premier League or European football. However, this approach makes it difficult to operate in the market when competing with big money clubs. The club's former sporting director, Michael Edwards, was one of the geniuses who ensured Liverpool could maintain its status at the top of European football despite low spending. One of Edwards' best qualities was his ability to find players who had the potential to become world-class players under Jurgen Klopp. His successor, Julian, is entering a similar market with his first few acquisitions from the Portuguese league, with which he has strong connections. But Ward isn't just in the Portuguese market and is also looking into other markets. Another league Ward is interested in is the Danish league. Especially the Nordsjælland club stands out. The club has developed a number of exciting talents into European football over the past few years, including Mohamed Kudus, Mikkel Damsgaard, Kamaldeen Sulemana or Stanislav Lobotka, as well as Brighton's acquisition of Simon Adingra. Julian Ward's target is Ernest Nuama, who is expected to contribute a lot to Liverpool in the future. Ernest Nuama contributed 5 goals in his first 8 games, averaging 0.75 goals and assists per 90 minutes. Nuama, who made an incredible explosion, is technically perfect. Ball control and one-on-one passing skills stand out. Just like the attackers on Klopp's teams, Nuama is adept at making smart forward runs and entering dangerous areas in the opponent's penalty area. He is a winger who uses his stealing skills well and loses a man in defense. The actor sometimes acts similar to Sadio Mane. Currently, Transfermarkt is valuing it at just £135,000. Liverpool will definitely have to pay more than that to land the winger in the future. Take, for example, the likes of Sulemana, Damsgaard, and Kudus. The trio have at least doubled their value since leaving the club, proving that there are plenty of gems to be found in the Danish league. Nuama is one of those gems, and Julian Ward is already after it.